Progressive Congress (APC) don close dem case on Thursday for di National Judicial Institute (NJI) for Abuja wia di Election Petition Tribunal dey hear di Edo State governorship election petitions. APC don close dis case as e be di third and last respondent for di petition, as dis one don still end weeks of serious legal fight afta di oda parties don also close dia cases, wia di second respondent, Governor Monday Okpebholo, di first respondent, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), plus di petitioners Asorime Akintunde Ighodalo and di Peoples Democratic Party (PDP). For di hearing of di tribunal, Adetunji Oyeyipo SAN lead oda legal big men wey include Ken Muzia, Rotimi Ogunesho, Larry Slick Owe, AJ Ajibade, Oluwole Iyamo and others for di petitioners. Kanu Agabi lead other heavyweights like AM Aliyu, Alhassan Umar, Inuwa San, S.O. Ibrahim and others for the first respondent. Onyinyechi Ikpeazu San lead other learned men like Chief Ofiong E. Ofiong, Martins Alewo Aguda, Amadu Umaru, David Itoyima, Miriam Lawal Agabi for the second respondent. Just as DC Demigwe lead Chief Ferdinand Obi, J.O. Asoluka, Echezona Etiaba, Henry Bello and others for the third respondent in the absence of Emmanuel Okala. No be wetin dem expect for the full courthouse and e still dey show the surprise wey don happen for past hearings. Today no get any hot exchange between the legal fighters as dem dey show mutual agreement, smiles, laughter, banters put for ground. The respondents' lawyers dey with the hope say dem don do their work well for the strong and credible legal defence of the Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo. Obi for im statement tok say yesterday dem tok say dem go exchange dia document schedule today to make am easy for di presentation of di witness testimony. Dem don do beta review of di evidence wey di petitioners bring, dem still do evidence wey dem get from di petitioners during cross-examination, di evidence wey di respondents don present so far for dis tribunal and di documentary evidence wey dey before dis tribunal. My lord, dem don also consider say time dey very important and di judicial time of dis honourable tribunal dey very precious. My lord, as dem don still take all di factors wey dem mention serious, dem dey happy to close di third respondent case for dis stage as e dey please di Lordship. With no objection, Justice Wilfred Tochikon close di case of di third respondent because e stand im ground even though di respondents and di petitioners dey plead for more days to prepare dia written addresses. E still tok say afta e don consider di application and di argument, di tribunal dey feel say plenty time don already pass, dey mindful to keep to time and as e be so, Justice Wilfred don gree to give di respondents 7 days, di petitioners 5 days and extra 3 days to make dia file and dia final written address as dem dey wan start to dey count.
Today we close the case of the third respondent. We have placed before the tribunal all the documentary and oral evidence requisite for the prosecution of the election petition and defense of the petition indeed. These have been ascribed to all parties in consonance with paragraph 46 of the first schedule of the Electoral Act for us to file our respectful addresses. The respondents will start first since we called the evidence. We'll be given 7 days. The petitioners will therefore have 5 days to respond. The respondents will have 3 days to reply on points of law.
Well, the third respondents ended their matter today. They didn't call any witness today, but instead closed their case because they felt they cannot go and do the case or the petition for the petitioners. I also want to state categorically that when a petitioner is challenging the legality of an election or no substantial compliance with an election, you call polling unit agents. You call every witnesses from the polling agents or for the polling units. You call witnesses from that. Now, in this case, the petitioners were challenging 765 units out of 4,519 units, which represents 17.6% of the entire unit in Edo State. Now, out of the 65 units they are challenging, they only called 5 polling unit agents. And they could not prove their case. Now, what do you want the court to do? The court should perform magic for you? It's not possible. It's not possible because the court is not Father Christmas. They refuse to call witnesses, vital witnesses. Instead, what did they do? They started calling ward unit agents, no government unit agents, and when they were asked during cross-examination, they said, they said that these results were given to them, information were passed to them from the ward unit, from the government units, and now these are hearsay. Now, what do we need to do? We don't need to go and prove the case for them. We can't prove their case for them. They have the onus to prove their case, and it is going to be beyond all reasonable doubt.
Close our case today because you know that we have very seasoned senior lawyers, and haven't assessed the evidence of PDP, and they were supposed to call about 150 witnesses. They were only able to call just 19 witnesses. And I'm sure our lawyer believed that instead of helping them in their case, they decided to close their case because the evidence they brought up also has bettered our case. So there was no need to call witnesses.
The damage has already been done, and he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. The APC had told us, the third respondent in this case, that they had 28 witnesses to tender before the tribunal. And the 4 of them that were brought yesterday helped our case to substantiate our prayers that there was overvoting and there was non-serialization of sensitive materials. And there's a sense in which the councils saw that the witnesses were helping the PDP and decided not to call any more witnesses. They also told us that they had more documents to tender before the tribunal today. And it appears that the documents had an accident along the way, and so they couldn't bring it before the court. So we are pleased. The court, in her wisdom, has granted them 7 days to send their briefs to the petitioner, and we have 5 days to respond. And so we're hopeful that with all the evidence tendered before the courts, with all the witnesses that have come to give their addresses before the courts, the PDP has again shown to the tribunal, just the same way we have been telling the Edo people, that Aso Ighodalo won the election. We had the highest number of legal, lawful votes, and he should have been declared winner after the September 21st elections.
Justice Pochiko adjourned the tribunal to Monday 3rd March, wey dem adopt for written address. God blessing Okelebe, Oberland TV reporter.